Hello, friends. Welcome to Puppet Storytime Adventures. I'm Miss Amanda, and I'm so happy you're here today. I'm here with my good friend, Yeti Psgetti, and we have a really cool story to read for you. Yeti, what are you doing with that paper towel roll?
I'm going to build a rocket, Miss Amanda. All I need now is maybe some tape and glitter and then a banana for fuel.
A banana? I don't think that's how rockets work.
I've watched a lot of cartoons and I'm basically an expert on it now.
Well, you've got perfect timing, because today's story is The Rocket Book by Peter Newell. It's about a rocket that zooms through everything.
Does it zoom through pudding?
Pudding. No, but it zooms through lots of other things.
Oh, 'cause that happened once on one of my blueprints.
Let's read and see where it goes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Snuggle up, get cozy, and let's begin. The Rocket Book by Peter Newell. When Fritz, the janitor's naughty kid, went snooping in the basement, he found a rocket snugly hid beneath the window casement. He struck a match with one fell swoop, then on the concrete kneeling, he lit the rocket and shoop! It shot up through the ceiling. The Steiners on the floor above of breakfast were partaking. Crash came the rocket unannounced and set them all a-quaking. It smote a ketchup bottle fair, and bang, the thing exploded. And now these people all declare that ketchup flask was loaded. Before the fire, old Grandpa Hop dozed in his armchair big, when from a trunk the rocket burst and carried off his wig. It passed so near his ancient head, he roused up with a start, and turning to his grandson said, "You fellows think you're smart." Algernon Brackett, somewhat rash, had blown a monster bubble, when oh, there came a blinding flash, precipitating trouble. But Algie turned in mild disgust and called to Mama Brackett, "Say, did you hear that bubble bust? It made an awful racket." Joe Budd, who'd bought a potted plant, was dousing it with water. He fancied this would make it grow, and Joseph loved to potter. Then through the pot the rocket shot and made the scene look sickly. "Well now," said Joe, "I never thought that plant would shoot so quickly." Right here 'tis needful to remark that Dick and little son were playing with Noah's Ark and having loads of fun, when all at once that rocket stout up through the ark came blazing. The animals were tossed about and did some stunts amazing. A burglar on the next floor up the sideboard was exploring. The family with the brindled pup were still asleep and snoring. Just then up through the silverware the rocket thundered flaring. The burglar got a dreadful scare, then out the door went tearing. Miss Mammy Briggs with no mean skill was playing Casey's fling to please her cousin Amos Gill, who likes that sort of thing. When suddenly the rocket hot, the old piano jumbled. It stopped that ragtime like a shot, then through the ceiling rumbled. Up through the next floor on its way that rocket dread went tearing, where Winkle stood in bathrobe gray, a tepid bath preparing. The tub it punctured like a shot and made a mighty splashing. The man was rooted to the spot, then out the door went dashing. Bob Brooks was puffing very hard, his football to inflate, while round him stood his faithful guard, and they could hardly wait. Then came the rocket fierce and bright, and through the football rumbled. "You've got a pair of lungs all right," his staring playmates grumbled. The family dog with frenzied mien was chasing Fluff the mouser, when poof, the rocket flashed between and quite astonished Towser. Now if this dog had wit enough the English tongue to torture, he might have growled such silly stuff as, "Whew, that cat's a scorcher." While Carrie Cook sat with a book, the phonograph played sweetly. Then came the rocket, and it smashed that instrument completely. Fair Carrie promptly turned her head, attracted by the roar. "Dear me, I never heard," she said, "that record played before." De Vere was searching for a match to chase away the gloom, but failed to find one with dispatch and stumbled through the room. Just then the rocket flared up bright before his face and crackled, supplying him the needed light. "Thanks awfully," he cackled. Home from the shop came Maud's new hat, a hat of monstrous size. It almost filled the tiny flat before her ravished eyes. When choo 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 up through the box so proud, the rocket flared and spluttered. "I said that hat was all too loud," her peevish husband muttered. Tom's pap had helped him start his train, and all would have been fine, had not the rocket-raising cane blocked traffic on the line. It blew the engine into scrap, as if in a fit of passion. "Who would have thought that toy," said Pap, "would blow up in such fashion?" Orlando Pease, quite at his ease, the Morning Star was reading. "My dear," he said to Mrs. Pease, "here's a report worth heeding." The rocket then, in wanton sport, flashed through the printed pages. The lady gasped, "A wild report!" then swooned by easy stages. Doc Danby was a silly guy, so lest he sleep too late, he placed a tattoo clock nearby to wake him up at 8. But the rocket smote that clock and smashed its way clean through it. "You have a fine alarm," said Doc, "but say, you overdo it." A penny liner, Abram Stout, was writing a description. The flame shot up, he pounded out, then threw a mild conniption. For through his Flemington there shied a rocket hot and mystic. "I didn't mean to be," he cried, "so very realistic." Gus Gummer long had set his head upon some strange invention. "Be careful, Gus," his good wife said, "it might explode, I mentioned." Just then the pesky rocket flared and wrecked that Yankee notion. "I feared as much," his wife declared, then fainted from emotion. While Bert was on his hobby horse and riding it like mad, the rocket on its fiery course upset the startled lad. The frightened pony plunged a lot like Fury playing tag. "Whoa, Spot! Who would have thought you're such a fiery nag?" A taxidermist plied his trade upon a walrus head. It really made him quite afraid to meet its stares so dread. When suddenly the rocket bright flared up and then was off. "Oh, Minnie!" cried the man in fright, "just hear that walrus cough!" Oh, it was just a splendid flight, that rocket's wild career. But to an end it came all right, as you shall straightway hear. It plunged into a can of cream that Billy Bunk was freezing, and froze quite stiff as it would seem, and so subsided, wheezing. The end.
Oh, thank you, Miss Amanda. That was an amazing story.
That was a nifty story. Who would have thought the rocket would have been stopped by ice cream?
That was very funny.
Did you have a favorite part?
I did. I like when the rocket went through the bathtub and then went splash.
Bet there was water everywhere.
I think so too.
Thank you for joining us on Puppet Storytime Adventures.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Miss Amanda. I'm so glad you're here. We'll laugh and read and fill the air with cheer. Grab a book, let's take a look. Adventures are waiting, just open the book. Welcome to Puppet Storytime Adventures, where magic